chapters, they stand up here too. So they'll stand.
Response, you got every space.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5 from the boom. 1, 2, check, check, check. Check 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Check 1, 2. Check. Check 1, 2. Test.
That's what we were visualizing.
Test for the live stream. Should be complete. 1, 2, 3. There we go.
He's speaking. It sounds like an ambient mic. You tell it to take it.
1, 2, test, test, test. Test, 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 test. Check, 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 check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
So it should be good. So let's do a stream. Can you hear audio? Make sure you got audio. Then we're good. You should hear audio. That's way better. Here you go. The room is yours.
We're ready.
I'm going to go over.
We're ready.
This mic. As long as you make a good audio stream, then you have a video. All sports will go right. At least the later.
Hey, we're fixing to get started.
You're not getting anything.
Thank y'all.
Yes, well. Yes. So that's going to be
All that for 7
Sorry for not having my radio. Should have given me a call this up.
Audience, are you ready? Good deal. All ready? All right, good morning. Welcome to the Georgia FFA State Convention Finals Hall. This morning, we are kicking off the finals with parliamentary procedure. Our final 4 teams have completed 2 exams, a preliminary presentation with oral questions, a team minutes practicum. Today, they will complete a final presentation and a team activity. The results for this event will be announced live on stage tonight at the first session beginning at 7 p.m. Please help us by observing a few basic rules to ensure that the event will run smoothly and to provide a fair environment for our participants today. Please take a moment to turn off or silence all electronic devices. Once the courtesy corps closes the doors, please remain quiet and seated. With the courtesy corps, please shut the doors. We already have. Okay, that's what I was. Can y'all open those doors right there for me? Would the courtesy corps please close the doors? Judges, are you ready? Our first team is from the Stevens County FFA chapter. Team members are Wyatt Hammonds, Kerrigan Craig, Tegan Jameson, Emma Hornick, Emma Dean, and Arwen Bratton.
You have 1 minute to review your cards. This minute starts now. Time. You may begin your presentation.
It's ready for the debate.
Mr. Chairman,
Second.
I move that our chapter create a campaign during FFA week to support local farmers.
It's moved and seconded that our chapter created a campaign during FFA week to support local farmers. Is there any debate?
Mr. Chairman,
Kerrigan.
Mr. Chairman, I rise to a point of order.
State your point.
I believe that I have risen first, therefore I deserve the first right to speak.
Point not well taken. Kerrigan being the maker of the motion, she reserves the first right to speak.
Members, I brought this motion before the Assembly because I believe that it is vital that our chapter adopts it. Recently, our young farmers and alumni partnered to make their own campaign to support local farmers. Multiple community members questioned why our FFA chapter did not support this or have any part in it. I believe it's time for our chapter to take a stand, have a place in our community, and support local farmers because that's what agriculture supports and that is what we stand for. So stand by me and pass this main motion.
Mr. Chairman!
Arwen.
Members, I am in strong disagreement with this motion. At this time, we do not have the funds for this matter, seeing as our local greenhouse heater is in need of repairs. I believe we should prioritize this matter as it directly affects our spring and fall plant sale. So stand by me in failing this motion.
Mr. Chairman!
Morning.
I feel obligated to be for this motion. Every year, each chapter is asked to fill out a National FFA Week observation. If we were to host this event, it would give us an opportunity to put this on our National FFA Week observation to put us ahead of other chapters in advancing us towards a long-term goal of ours, Chapter of the Year. So stand by me and pass this motion.
Mr. Chairman!
Tegan.
Fellow members, I'm in agreement with this main motion. I believe that creating this campaign take a lot of work. However, in the Vice President's opening ceremonies, it says that without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom could accomplish much. So I believe that this opportunity would be an excellent way to benefit our officers through leadership. So please join me in passing this main motion.
Mr. Chairman!
I move to limit debate to one speech per person per motion.
Second!
It's been moved and seconded that we limit debate to one speech per person per motion. Are there any amendments? Seeing none, will not proceed to vote. All in favor of limiting debate, please rise. Be seated. All opposed, please rise. Be seated. With 1 in favor and 4 against, the motion fails. We will not limit debate. Is there any further debate on the main motion?
Mr. Chairman!
Marwin.
I move the previous question.
The
Second!
previous question has been moved and seconded. Shall we move the previous question? All in favor of moving the previous question, please rise. Be seated. All opposed, please rise. Be seated. With 1 in favor and 4 against, the motion fails. The previous question will not be moved. Is there any further debate?
Mr. Chairman!
Dean.
I am in strong agreement with this motion. In the FFA emblem, the corn represents unity. If we were to create a campaign for our local farmers, I believe that this would be a great example to lead by the FFA emblem and to support this. So please stand by me in passing this motion.
Mr. Chairman!
Kerrigan.
I move to postpone this motion until our next regularly scheduled meeting.
It's
Second!
been moved and seconded that we postpone this motion until our next regularly scheduled meeting. Is there any debate?
Mr. Chairman!
Kerrigan.
I am in favor of this postponement. This motion is handling matters too far in the future to make an accurate decision at this time. I believe if we postpone this motion, more important matters were to arise and we would be able to make a decision that would benefit our chapter for years to come. So stand by me and pass this postponement.
Mr. Chairman!
Marwin.
Members, I am in strong agreement with this postponement. Seeing as at our next regularly scheduled meeting, we will have more members present than at our current one, I believe this will be a better time to make a decision to represent the minority of our chapter. So stand by me in passing this postponement.
Mr. Chairman!
Deegan.
Fellow members, I'm in disagreement with this postponement. Seeing as I'm the secretary, I am asked to make the agenda for any and all upcoming meetings. Doing this, I know that the agenda at our next meeting is rather full, and there will not be much time to further discuss this topic. So please join me and fail this postponement.
Mr. Chairman!
Hornet.
I am against this postponement. There are many officers present at this current meeting that will not be in attendance at our next meeting. I feel our officers were elected to their positions for a reason, and their voices deserve to be heard. I do not feel it's fair to push this to a later date where they may not be listened to. So stand by me and fail this postponement. Mr. Chairman!
Dean.
I cannot stand for the passing of this postponement. The last time we postponed a motion, I feel as though it was neglected and not taken care of accordingly. If we were to postpone this motion, I fear that the same would happen. So please stand by me in the failing of this postponement.
Is there any further debate on this postponement? Seeing none, we will not proceed to vote. All in favor of postponing this motion until our next regularly scheduled meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No! Division!
A division of the assembly has been called for. We'll now proceed to vote in a more accountable method. All in favor of postponing this motion until our next regularly scheduled meeting, please rise. Be seated. All opposed, please rise. Be seated. With 2 in favor and 3 against, the motion fails. We will not postpone this motion. Is there any further debate on the main motion?
Mr. Chairman!
Hornet.
I move to amend the motion by adding the words "with all arrangements to be taken care of by the Secretary."
Second!
It's been moved and seconded that we amend the motion by adding the words that all arrangements be taken care of by the Secretary. If passed, the motion will read that our chapter create a campaign during FFA week to support local farmers with all arrangements be taken care of by the Secretary. Is there any debate?
Mr. Chairman!
Hornet.
I am strongly for this amendment. At the beginning of this year, when we put our secretary into her position of power, we put her there with the expectations that she would be able to fulfill all the duties that came with that job. She's proven she's able to do this and so much more. I feel it's only fair we show we appreciate her by giving her this responsibility as well. So stand by me and pass this amendment.
Mr. Chairman!
Dean.
I am in strong disagreement with this amendment. Our secretary is currently enrolled in many honors and AP courses, and the work is starting to pile on as she is preparing for these final exams. I do not believe that we should overload her with this task at this time. So please stand by me in the failing of this amendment.
Mr. Chairman!
Deegan.
Fellow members, I'm in agreement with this amendment. Seeing as I'm the secretary, I am able to take a closer and more personal look into this matter. After taking a step back and improving my personal life, I believe that this would be an excellent motion to place into my hands. So please join me and pass this amendment.
Mr. Chairman!
Marwin.
Members, I am in strong disagreement with this amendment. There are countless others qualified for this task. Why hand it off to just one person when it can be voted on by our entire chapter? So stand by me in failing this amendment.
Mr. Chairman,
Kerrigan.
members, I cannot stand with this amendment. Our secretary has fulfilled her duties, however, lacks the knowledge and wisdom to make a decision that would affect our entire chapter. I believe this motion should stand here and we take a vote on it. So stand by me and fail this amendment.
Is there any further debate on this amendment? Seeing none, we will now proceed to vote. All in favor of amending the motion by adding the words to all arrangements be taken care of by the secretary, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No!
Motion fails. We will not amend the motion. Is there any further debate?
Mr. Chairman,
Arwen.
Members, I continue to be in strong opposition of this motion. At this time, our members and our officers do not have the time to handle this matter, seeing as we have our annual awards makeover coming up. I believe we should make this matter our priority, rather than bringing in this new issue. So stand by me in failing this motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Dean.
I am still in strong agreement with this motion. At our officer training this past June, we made it a goal to get out into the community and to represent our county. I believe that we need to stay true to our goals as a chapter and an officer team and host this campaign. So please stand by me in passing this motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Kerrigan.
members, I still believe this is a vital motion for our chapter. At the beginning of the year, we filled out our POA with the officers and advisors. The program of activities has fallen behind though, and I believe that we need to pass the support for local farmers to create a campaign that would not only set us ahead, but keep us on track to make sure that we end the year strong and make sure that we are in good standing. So stand by me and pass this main motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Tegan.
I'm still in agreement with this main motion. In the FFA Creed, E.M. Tiffany says that to live and work on a good farm is pleasant as well as challenging. I believe that as FFA members, it is our duty to support our local farmers. So please join me and pass this motion.
Mr. Chairman, I rise to your question of privilege.
State your question.
It is getting rather warm in here. May we remove our FFA jackets?
Seeing as this is an official FFA function, you may not remove your jacket.
I appeal the decision of the chair.
The chair's decision has been appealed to. Shall the chair's decision be sustained? All those in favor of sustaining the chair's decision, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
Motion passes. The chair's decision will be sustained. Is there any further debate?
Mr. Chairman,
Morning.
my vote still remains for this motion. While this would be a very hard thing for our chapter to do, the Vice President's part of opening ceremony states, without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much. I believe if we were to carry out this activity, we would be able to live up to the opening ceremony through labor and knowledge. So stand by me and pass this motion.
Is there any further debate on the main motion? Seeing none, we will now proceed to vote. All those in favor of our chapter create a campaign during FFA week to support local farmers, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No!
Motion passes. Our chapter will create a campaign during FFA week to support local farmers. Is there any further business?
Mr. Chairman,
Arwen.
I move to reconsider the motion which states that our chapter hosts a proficiency workshop for our high school juniors and seniors, and I was on the prevailing side.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we reconsider the motion that states that our chapter hosts a proficiency workshop for our high school juniors and seniors. Is there any debate? Seeing none, we will now proceed to vote. All those in favor of reconsidering the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
Motion fails. We will not reconsider this motion. Is there any further business?
Mr. Chairman,
Morning.
I move to suspend the standing rule, which states we open each meeting with opening ceremony to allow more time for a guest speaker.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we suspend the standing rule, which states that we open each meeting with opening ceremonies to allow time for a guest speaker. All those in favor of suspending the standing rules, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
Motion fails. Is there any further business?
Mr. Chairman,
Keegan.
I move to adjourn the meeting.
It's
Second.
been moved and seconded that we adjourn this meeting. All those in favor of adjourning this meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion passes. Judges, this concludes our presentation, and we will now entertain questions.
Judges, please ask the 6 assigned questions.
Can y'all hear me? To the person who has reconsidered,
Yes, ma'am.
you have a 2-part question. Your first question, explain what is meant by the statement that the motion to reconsider must be made by a member who voted on the prevailing side.
In this statement, when it says the motion to reconsider must be made by a member who's on the prevailing side, it means that that member would like to reconsider the vote on that motion.
Okay. Your second question, when must the motion to reconsider be made if the meeting lasts 1 day?
The motion to reconsider must be made after that 1 day.
Okay. Thank you. To the person who had postponed definitely,
Yes, ma'am.
you have 2 questions. What is the restriction on debating the motion to postpone definitely compared to that of postpone indefinitely?
Yes, ma'am. In a postpone definitely, you cannot go into the merits, and you are debating on the meeting being moved to a different date. In postpone indefinitely, you are killing the motion. Therefore, you can go into merits, and if you do pass it, the motion will no longer be on the table.
Name 2 rules that must be followed in amending the motion to postpone definitely.
When you amend postpone definitely, you can amend the time of which it will be taken up and the date of which it will be taken up.
Okay.
To the member with limit, extend limits of debate, name 3 ways that the motion to limit or extend limits of debate can limit debate.
It is able to limit debate on how many speeches per motion, per member, and how many times.
Thank you.
To the person who had suspend the rules,
Yes, ma'am.
name 3 rules that can be suspended if they interfere with a proposed action.
Could you repeat the question?
Yes. Name 3 rules that can be suspended if they interfere with a proposed action.
Three rules that can be suspended if they interfere with the proposed action would be what the meeting opens with, what the meeting closes with, and what takes place during.
To the member who had appealed,
Yes, ma'am.
you have 3 questions. Can the chair's answer to a parliamentary inquiry be appealed? Explain your answer.
No, ma'am, it cannot be appealed to. The motion to appeal is kind of a right to the member whenever the chair makes a decision regarding the member's personal privileges. The appeal can be used then. The parliamentary inquiry does not regard personal privilege.
Is the chair's judgment as to which side is more numerous on a voice vote subject to an appeal? Explain your answer.
I do not believe that this would be subject to an appeal. As I previously stated, the appeal is used whenever the chair makes a decision based on the member's personal privileges, personal rights, and the amount of people on each side does not regard to this.
Is the chair's judgment as to which side is more numerous on a rising vote subject to an appeal? Explain your answer.
No, ma'am, it is not. As I previously stated, I do not believe that since the chair is making a decision based on the member's personal rights, it would not be subject to an appeal.
There are 6 types of improper amendments. Name 3 of them.
Three types of improper amendments would be non-germane amendments that change the meaning of the motion completely, and tertiary amendment.
Thank you.
Judges, you now have 3 minutes to ask any follow-up questions for clarification.
For the motion to reconsider, where does it fall into the orders of business?
The motion to reconsider would fall into the general orders of business.
Postpone definitely. Couple of questions. In the motion, how did you move to postpone definitely? Was it to the next regular scheduled meeting?
Yes, yes.
Okay, when was that meeting?
next regular scheduled meeting be held?
That is correct.
Well, if we met annually, it would be at the next annual meeting. Meet weekly, it'd be the next weekly meeting. So,
In your presentation, when was the meeting?
It would take place next week. We hold weekly meetings.
Thank you.
For limit or extend limits of debate, the motion was seconded, but only the maker stood up in favor of it. Why?
Because seconding only shows that you're willing to vote in favor or against the motion.
That's all the questions we have.
Congratulations on advancing to the final four of the state parliamentary procedure event. Please remember to leave the card in your place. Please leave your scratch paper at your station. We will now move over to the team activity room. Please remember to leave your card in this place.
Good morning. If you're just joining us, welcome to the finals hall. We are on team 2 of the parliamentary procedure finals. We do ask that you help us observe a few basic rules to ensure that the event will run smoothly and to provide a fair environment for our participants today. Please take a moment to turn off or silence all electronic devices. Once the courtesy corps closes the doors, please remain quiet and seated. Would the courtesy corps please close the doors? Judges, are you ready? Our second team today is from the Berrien County High School FFA chapter. Team members include Michaela Cooper, Landon Exum, Joni Phillips, James Williams, Abigail Griffin, and Kenneth Marin. Please help me welcome them to the stage.
You have 1 minute. Time. You may begin your presentation.
The meeting will now come to order. Does any member know any new or unfinished business which will probably come before the assembly?
Madam Chair,
James.
I move to reconsider that our high school host a proficiency workshop for our juniors and seniors.
Second. It's been moved and seconded that we reconsider the motion that our chapter has a proficiency workshop for our high school juniors and seniors. This motion is debatable but not amendable. Is there any debate?
Madam Chair,
James.
I think this is a great opportunity for our juniors and seniors, and I think that we should reconsider this to make sure that it passes and that our juniors and seniors have this opportunity. Thank you.
Is there any further debate on the motion to reconsider? Seeing none, I'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor of reconsidering the motion that our chapter hosts a proficiency workshop for our high school juniors and seniors, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
The noes have it. The motion to reconsider fails. Is there any further business?
Madam Chairman,
Abigail.
I move that our chapter create a campaign during FFA week to support local farmers.
Second. It's been moved and seconded that our chapter create a campaign during FFA week to support local farmers. This motion is debatable and amendable. Is there any debate?
Madam Chairman.
Abigail.
Here in Berrien County, agriculture is at the heart of what we do. With 75% of our economy coming from our agricultural industry, I believe we need to support our farmers. So help me pass this motion.
Madam Chairman.
James.
I do not agree with this motion, as our chapter simply does not have the resources that we need to host a campaign of this magnitude, and I just think it is not a great decision for us to take place at this moment. For these reasons, please help me fail this motion.
Madam Chairman. Kenneth.
Berrien County has recently gone through a drought period, so our farmers need all the support they can receive, and the FFA has the resources to be able to do this. For this reason, please vote yes on this main motion.
Madam Chairman.
Joni.
Many of our members in our chapter, their parents and family, they have farms and they are local farmers. And so I feel that if our chapter were to host this, it would not only show our members our support, but also their families. So please vote yes on this main motion.
Madam Chairman.
Landon.
Assembly, I disagree with this main motion. I really don't think we have time to do a campaign with our local farmers. We seem to not have enough time in our FA week, as we already have a pork chop plate cylinder that week. We seem to not have enough time to make this campaign the best it can be for our local farmers. For this reason, please vote no on this main motion.
Madam Chairman,
Abigail.
I move to limit debate to 1 minute per speaker.
Second. It's been moved and seconded that we limit debate to 1 minute per speaker. This motion is not debatable but is amendable. Are there any amendments? Seeing none, I'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor of limiting debate to 1 minute per speaker, please stand. Thank you. Be seated. All opposed, please stand. Thank you. Be seated. Because there is less than a 2/3 in the affirmative, the motion to limit fails.
I rise to a question of privilege.
State your question.
Can I step out in the hall to take a quick phone call?
No, you may not. This meeting will be over shortly.
I appeal the decision of the chair.
The decision of the chair has been appealed. We will now take a vote on sustaining the decision of the chair. All those in favor of sustaining the decision of the chair, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
The ayes have it. The motion to appeal fails. We will sustain the decision of the chair.
Madam Chairman,
Landon.
I would postpone this motion to our next regular scheduled meeting.
Second. It's been moved and seconded that we postpone this motion to our next regularly scheduled meeting. This motion is debatable and amendable. Is there any debate?
Madam Chairman.
Landon.
I think we should postpone this motion to our next regular scheduled meeting. This will give us enough time to see if we can do a campaign for the local farmers, see if we have enough members to help us with this campaign, and we can really just see how many members will help us at our next regular scheduled meeting, and we can just ask them for their help. For these reasons, please vote yes on this postponement.
Madam Chairman.
Abigail.
With our May meeting just 1 week away, we will have enough time to gather our thoughts on this motion and come to a consensus. So help me pass this postponement.
Madam Chairman. James.
I'm in disagreement with this postponement as I'm already sure that we do not have the resources that we require to pull off this campaign. So for these reasons, please help me fail this postponement.
Madam Chairman.
Kenneth.
I'm in disagreement with this postponement, seeing as the farmers are currently in need of any resources that we can provide to them. And postponing this will give them extra time to suffer through the hardships that they're going through. For this reason, I urge you to vote down this postponement.
Madam Chairman.
Jody.
I strongly disagree with this postponement, seeing as how our school year is almost over. And if we were to wait until our next regularly scheduled meeting, we simply would not have time to host this week of support for our local farmers, and therefore it would be a waste of our time. So let's vote on this today and vote no on this postponement.
Is there any further debate on postponement? Are there any amendments? Seeing none, I'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor of postponing this motion to our next regularly scheduled meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
The noes have it.
Division.
Division has been called. We will now take a vote by more accurate means. All those in favor of postponing this motion to our next regularly scheduled meeting, please stand. Thank you. Be seated. All opposed, please stand. Thank you. Be seated. Madam Secretary, let the record show that it was 2 for, and 3 against. The motion to postpone fails. Is there any further debate on the main motion?
Madam Chairman,
Kenneth.
I move to suspend the rules interfering with members wearing casual dress at events.
Second. It's been moved and seconded to suspend the rules interfering with members wearing casual dress at events. This motion is not debatable and not amendable, so now proceed to a vote. Because this is a standing rule, we'll take a majority vote. All those in favor of suspending the rules, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
The noes have it. We will not suspend the rules. Is there any further debate on the main motion?
Madam Chairman.
Joni.
I move to amend this main motion by striking out FFA week and adding during the summer.
Second.
It's been seconded that we amend this motion by striking out FFA week and inserting during summer, so that the motion now reads, I move that our chapter create a campaign during the summer to support local farmers. This motion is debatable and amendable. Is there any debate?
Madam Chairman.
Joni.
I believe that we should do this during the summertime because that's when most of our farmers are working hard and long hours. And if we as a chapter were able to come together during the summertime, we could show our local farmers how much we support them and how much we care for the ag industry. So please vote yes on this amendment.
Madam Chairman,
Landon.
I also agree with this amendment. I think summer is a better time for us to get the resources and more members in to help with this campaign so we can be the best to support our local farmers. For these reasons, please vote yes on this amendment.
Madam Chairman.
Abigail.
During the summer, so many of our members are going to be gone on vacations and trips for scholarships and different opportunities. So we're not going to have enough members to run this campaign up to our standard of excellence. So help me down vote this amendment.
Madam Chairman.
James.
As my previous speaker, Abigail, has already mentioned, all of our members will be out of, or a majority of our members will be out of town during the summer, and as we already do not have the membership or the financial funds to go ahead and host this during FFA week, we definitely do not have funds and resources to host this during the summer. For these reasons, please vote down this amendment.
Madam Chairman,
Kenneth.
it has been projected that during the summer, there will be plenty of rainfall, and in fact, there will be a little bit of flooding. So I believe that it's not going to be as helpful to them during the summer as it would be right now to be able to help the farmers with this campaign. This reason, vote down this amendment.
Is there any further debate on the amendment? Are there any amendments? Seeing none, now proceed to a vote. All those in favor of striking out FFA week and inserting summer so that the motion now reads, I move that our chapter create a campaign during summer to support local farmers. Please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
The noes have it, the amendment fails. The motion on the floor is that our chapter create a campaign during FFA week to support local farmers.
Madam Chairman,
Joni.
I still strongly agree with this main motion. I feel like this is a great way for our members to get out and help those in the community. And our local farmers are hardworking and they are the heart of our community. And so I feel that if we as a chapter were to partner with them, it would not only grow our leadership skills, but also help them through their hard times in this season. So please vote yes on this main motion.
Madam Chairman,
Landon.
Assembly, I still strongly disagree with this main motion. As I stated, we do not simply have enough time during FFA week due to our pork chop plate sale and many of our other activities we have during FFA week with our members. We simply don't have enough time to help give this campaign the best it can be for our local farmers. So please, Assembly, help me vote down this main motion.
Madam Chair.
Abigail.
Assembly, I am still so excited about this motion. Now, part of our program of activities asks us to help strengthen agriculture, as it is at the heart of our organization. So help me pass this motion so that we can support our local farmers.
Madam Chairman.
James.
While I am in support of what this motion stands for, I just have not heard the proof and evidence that I need to ensure me that we do have the ability to successfully pull off this campaign. So for these reasons, please vote down this motion.
Madam Chair,
Kenneth.
because FFA is such a community-centered organization, I believe that it is very important for us to get this done because the farmers do need it, and it'd be helpful for us to make space for this campaign. For the reason, vote yes on this motion.
Assembly, are you ready for the
Madam
question?
Chairman,
Kenneth.
I'll raise the previous question.
Second. The previous question has been moved and seconded. We will now take a vote on moving the previous question. All those in favor of moving the previous question, please stand. Thank you. Be seated. All opposed, please stand. Because there was 0 in the negative, the motion for previous question passes. We will now take a vote on the main motion. All those in favor of our chapter creating a campaign during FFA week to support local farmers, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
The noes have it. The motion fails. Is there any further business?
Madam Chair,
James.
I move to adjourn this meeting.
Second. It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn this meeting. This motion is not debatable, not amendable, so now proceed to a vote. All those in favor of adjourning this meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. The ayes have it. The motion to adjourn passes. I now declare this meeting adjourned. Please rise for oral questioning.
Judges, please ask the 6 assigned questions.
To the person who has reconsidered,
Yes, ma'am.
you have 2 questions. Your first question, explain what is meant by the statement that the motion to reconsider must be made by a member who voted on the prevailing side.
Can you repeat that question?
Yes. Explain what is meant by the statement that the motion to reconsider must be made by a member who voted on the prevailing side.
It means in order for someone to be willing to reconsider a motion, they must have voted for the motion to pass originally.
Okay, your second question. When must the motion to reconsider be made if a meeting lasts 1 day?
Before new business is attended to.
Okay, thank you. To the member who had postponed definitely, you have 2 questions. What is the restriction on debating the motion to postpone definitely compared to that with postpone indefinitely?
Postpone definitely is to a certain time, like a regular scheduled meeting, but postpone definitely is the motion wants to be killed and not on that time.
Okay, name 2 rules that must be followed in amending the motion to postpone definitely.
You said
Name 2 rules that must be followed in amending the motion to postpone definitely.
to make sure what you're amending is right, like the time and date, and to make sure that you're amending the place correctly.
Okay.
Limit or extend limits of debate.
Yes, sir.
Name 3 ways that the motion to limit or extend limits of debate can limit debate.
You can limit the amount of time a speaker can speak for. You can limit how many times a speaker can speak. And you can extend the limit of their overall debate time.
Thank you.
To the person who had suspend the rules, name 3 rules that can be suspended if they interfere with a proposed action.
Standing rules, parliamentary rules, special rules.
Wait, can you say what you said first?
Standing rules.
Okay, thank you. To the member who had appeal, you have 3 questions. Can the chair's answer to a parliamentary inquiry be appealed? Is the chair's judgment as to which side is more numerous on a voice vote subject to an appeal? Explain your answer.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Sure. Is the chair's judgment as to which side is more numerous on a voice vote subject to an appeal? Explain your answer.
Yes, because you can call for division, doubting the decision of the chair, which has been ruled on.
Is the chair's judgment as to which side is more numerous on a rising vote subject to an appeal? Explain your answer.
No, because after division has been called, you then do the rising vote, which clarifies the vote that has been taken.
Madam Chairman, there are 6 types of improper amendments. Name 3 of them.
Can you repeat the question?
There are 6 types of improper amendments. Name 3 of them.
An amendment that is not germane to the motion. And an amendment that changes the overall of the motion and the effect of it. And then an amendment that can change the entire motion. Or, I'm sorry, I misspoke. An amendment that changes the original motion that was made. Like if you make a motion to adjourn and then you amend that, or a fixed time to wish to adjourn and you amend that to just make it to an adjourn.
Thank you.
Judges, you now have 3 minutes to ask any follow-up questions for clarification.
When you are bringing the main motion reconsider to the floor, are you required to state what side you voted on previously?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, you are. I simply forgot to say that I voted on the prevailing side. I'm sorry.
On the appeal, there was a second, but only one person stood up in favor of the appeal. Why?
When you appeal the decision of the chair, I'm sorry, can you restate your question?
Sure. When the motion to appeal the decision of the chair occurred, there was a second, but only one person stood up in favor of the appeal.
That was probably an occurrence because they agreed with the appeal, but then once you had time to recollect your thoughts and think about the decisions that have been made, you could opt out of appealing the decision of the chair.
Postpone definitely. Can someone tell me how the motion was stated? Repeat what you said, postpone definitely.
Can you restate the question?
Yeah, can you tell me how, I believe you said that you wanted to postpone it to the next regular scheduled meeting?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, when was that next regular scheduled meeting?
In May.
In May?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how often do y'all have meetings in the chapter?
Monthly.
Okay, so if you met yearly, could you postpone it then?
No, because it falls out of the quarterly schedule.
Thank you. Well, another question I have, suspend the rules. What rule were we suspending?
That was the rule interfering with casual dress being worn.
And what did that have to do with what was going on at that moment?
rule of official dress. That way they were more comfortable, but also to get more done at those local farmers where you need assistance and anything.
Thank you.
Congratulations on advancing to the Final Four at the state parliamentary procedure event. Please remember to leave your card in your place. Please leave your scratch paper at your station. And we will now move over to the team activity room. Please leave your card in your place.
right, good morning. Welcome to the finals hall. We are doing parliamentary procedure this morning. We're on our third team. Please help us today to observe a few basic rules to ensure that the event runs smoothly and to provide a fair environment for our participants. Please take a moment to turn off or silence all electronic devices. Once the courtesy corps closes the doors, please remain quiet and seated. Would the courtesy corps please close the doors? Judges, are you ready? All right, our third team today is from Gilmer County High School. Team members are Lucy Ray, Lily Thurman, Elizabeth Pike, Hallie Heiss, Olivia Scholl, and Madison Bradshaw. Please help me welcome them to the stage.
You have 1 minute to review your card. Time. You may begin your presentation.
Is there any new business to be transacted? Madam Chair, Madison, I move to reconsider the vote on the motion relating to, I move that our chapter host a proficiency workshop for our high school juniors and seniors. I voted on the prevailing side.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to reconsider the vote on the motion relating to, I move that our chapter host a proficiency workshop for our high school juniors and seniors. Is there any debate? Madam Chair, Madison, I brought this motion back before the assembly in hopes to kill it because I just got notice from our school janitors that our school gym has a leak, and that's where we were going to host prom. Now that our school gym has a leak, it means we will have to host prom at our ag center, and that is where we would have to host this proficiency workshop because we have nowhere else to host it. So please kill the motion. Is there any further debate on the motion to reconsider? Seeing none, we will now proceed to vote. All those in favor of reconsidering the vote on the motion relating to, I move that our chapter host a proficiency workshop for our high school juniors and seniors, say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no.
No.
The noes have it and the motion to reconsider is lost.
Madam Chair,
Hallie.
I move that our chapter create a campaign during FFA week to support our local farmers.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that our chapter create a campaign during FFA week to support local farmers. Hallie, seeing that you are the maker of the motion, you have first priority of debate.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I brought up this motion because Gilmer County is one of the top 4 leading producers in Georgia. So I think this would be a great way to get our high school students involved in helping our farmers because they are such a big help to us. So get behind me and pass this main motion.
Madam Chair.
Libby.
I'm in agreement with the maker of this motion. By the year 2050, we are supposed to grow in population of over 43%. By supporting our local farmers, it would be a great way to give back to them what they already give to us, and they need to keep up with the growing population. So stand with me and vote yes.
Madam Chair,
Lily.
I'm in agreement with the maker of the motion. As previously stated, our population is at an increasing rate, and that means new technologies have been invented to help increase the production. And these local farms in our community are too small, and they are family farms that cannot afford these technologies. It is important for us to provide help to them so that they can keep in business and keep producing stuff for our town. Therefore, let's pass this motion.
Madam Chair,
Libby.
I'm still in agreement with the maker of this motion. Seeing that 2% of agriculture is actually farming, this would be a great way to show the minority that we do care and support them with all that they do for us. So stand with me and vote yes.
Madam Chair. Madison. See, I agree with this motion because seeing as our local farmers have recently donated $2,000 to our chapter to help our chapter go to state convention and FFA camp over the summer. By hosting this campaign, it would be just a great way to thank them and show them what we do in our chapter that we use with their money. So please stand with me and vote yes.
Madam Chair,
Lily.
I move to postpone this motion to our next scheduled meeting.
Second! It has been moved and seconded to postpone the main motion to our next scheduled meeting. Is there any debate on postponing definitely?
Madam Chair!
Lily.
I moved this motion because I feel like we have barely met a quorum today, and it's important for us to have the right amount of members present to make an accurate vote on this motion. Therefore, let's postpone it.
Madam Chair. Hallie.
I'm in favor of the maker of this motion. I feel as we are nearing the end of the school year and we roughly have 20 days left of this school year, so I think we just simply don't have enough time with our FFA banquet coming up and state convention. So get behind me and pass this postponement.
Madam Chair. Olivia.
I agree with the previous speaker. Considering that it is testing season and most of our students are in AP classes, we cannot guarantee that we will be able to make a quorum at our next scheduled meeting. Fail this motion.
Madam Chair. Libby.
I simply cannot lend my support to this motion. I will not be present at the next chapter meeting, and I feel very strongly about this, and I feel like I deserve to vote now, so stand with me and vote no.
Madam Chair. Madison. I agree with this postponement because we have a junior class meeting after this meeting, and I feel we will not have enough time to discuss this motion correctly. So please stand with me and vote yes on this postponement.
Madam Chair.
Olivia.
I move the previous question on the pending motion.
Second! The previous question on the pending motion has been moved. This motion requires a 2/3 vote because it restricts the rights of the minority. All those in favor of ordering the previous question and ending debate on postpone definitely, please rise. Thank you. Be seated. The previous question is adopted with unanimous consent.
I rise to a question of privilege affecting the assembly.
State your question.
I feel as though it is too warm in the meeting room. May we please remove our official FFA jackets?
Madam Chair.
Libby.
I move to suspend the standing rule that we wear all official FFA jackets at all official FFA meetings.
Second. It has been moved and seconded to suspend the standing rule that we wear our FFA jackets at all official FFA meetings. Seeing that this is a standing rule, we will proceed with the majority vote. All those in favor of suspending the standing rule that we wear our FFA jackets at all official FFA meetings, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no.
No.
Division. A division has been called for. We will now take a more accurate vote by standing. All those in favor of suspending the standing rule that we wear our FFA jackets at all official FFA meetings, please rise. Thank you. Be seated. Those opposed, please rise. Thank you. Be seated. The noes have it and the motion to suspend the rules is lost. We'll now
I rise
vote.
to a parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry.
What vote does the motion to postpone definitely require?
Postpone definitely requires a majority vote.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
We'll now vote on the motion to postpone definitely. All those in favor of postponing the main motion to our next scheduled meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no.
No.
The noes have it and the motion postponed definitely is lost.
Madam Chair.
Olivia.
I'm in favor of this motion, considering that Gilmer County is an agricultural powerhouse with a farm gate value approaching $200 million. This is because of our local farmers that we've been able to sustain and build this industry. Let's pass this motion.
Madam Chair,
Lily.
I am still in agreement with the maker of this motion. In our animal and science class at the high school, we have been going over the standard of agri-science, and I feel like our students have learned a lot about agri-science in this class, and it's important for them to go teach these farmers about agri-science so that they can keep their production at an increasing rate. Therefore, let's pass this motion.
I rise to a question of privilege affecting the assembly.
State your
I
question.
feel as though it's too warm in the meeting room. May we please turn down the thermostat?
The chair feels as if the meeting room is comfortable enough to continue. Your question is denied.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
I appeal from the decision of the chair.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to appeal from the decision of the chair to keep the temperature in the meeting room the same. The question is, shall we sustain the decision of the chair? All those in favor of sustaining the decision of the chair to keep the temperature in the meeting room the same, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no.
No.
The ayes have it and the decision of the chair is sustained. Madam Chair. Madison. I agree with this main motion because we can involve so many people at our high school by doing this. We can ask our sales team to go to our local Apple houses and ask them to cater this event, or to go to our Farm Bureau and ask them for a donation to help us with this campaign.
We can ask our marketing team to make flyers and put them out in our community about this campaign and help people know how much we support our local farmers. So please, I hope the Assembly adopts this motion.
Madam Chair.
Hallie.
I agree with the previous speaker. I think this would be a great way to get our students in our high school ag classes involved in this motion. I think that we could get them to help make the campaign so that we can put them out to support our local farmers. So get behind me and pass this main motion.
Madam Chair.
Olivia.
I'm still in favor of this motion, considering that the agriculture industry in Gilmer County is the leading employer. And by doing this motion, we would be displaying what our agriculture is actually about and the roots of our county. So let's pass this motion.
Madam Chair.
Hallie.
I move to refer this main motion to a committee of 3 appointed by the chair with full power to act, and that they report their findings back to us at our next scheduled meeting.
Second. It has been moved and seconded to refer the main motion to a committee of 3 appointed by the chair with full power to act and report their findings back to us at the next scheduled meeting. Is there any debate on the referral?
Madam Chair.
Hallie.
Seeing that there are so many local farms in Gilmer County, I think that we would need to research and see which one of these farms that we would need to make campaigns for their support. So get behind me and pass this referral.
Madam Chair.
Lily.
I'm in agreement with this referral. At this present meeting, we have some of these local farmers that are FFA alumni present at this meeting. It's important for them to be able to make a decision on this motion and be able to hear the debates on this motion as well. Therefore, let's refer it to a committee.
Madam Chair.
Libby.
I'm in agreement with the maker of this motion. Seeing that committees have unlimited debate, it'd be very beneficial for us, considering we don't know where we would hold this. So stand with me and vote yes.
Madam Chair.
Hallie.
I move to limit debate to 1 speech of 5 minutes for each member.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that debate be limited on the pending motion to 1 speech of 5 minutes for each member. Are there any amendments? This motion requires a 2/3 vote because it restricts the rights of the minority. All those in favor of limiting debate on the pending motion to 1 speech of 5 minutes for each member, please rise. Thank you. Be seated. The motion limit debate is adopted with unanimous consent.
Madam Chair.
Olivia.
I cannot stand in favor of this motion, considering that this is a rather simple idea and the Assembly would not benefit from informal consultation because debate would become redundant. So let's not pass this motion.
Is there any further debate on the referral? Seeing none, we will now proceed to vote. All those in favor of referring the main motion to a committee of 3 appointed by the chair with full power to act and report their findings back to us at the next scheduled meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no.
No.
The noes have it and the referral is lost. Is there any further debate on the main motion? Seeing none, we will now proceed to vote. All those in favor of the motion, I move that our chapter create a campaign during FFA week to support local farmers, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. The ayes have it and the motion is adopted. Is there any further business? Seeing no further business, I now declare this meeting adjourned.
Judges, please ask the 6 assigned questions.
To the person who has reconsider,
Yes, ma'am.
you have 2 questions. Your first question, explain what is meant by the statement that the motion to reconsider must be made by a member who voted on the prevailing side. Yes. Explain what is meant by the statement that the motion to reconsider must be made by a member who voted on the prevailing side.
That statement means that at the meeting earlier that day, that member thought that that motion was a good idea and that it should prevail. And then now they got notice from something that that motion wouldn't work. So now at this next meeting later on the same day, they realized that it wouldn't work, so they want to bring it back to kill it.
Okay. Your second question. When must the motion to reconsider be made if a meeting lasts 1 day?
Same day.
Okay, thank you.
To the member who had postponed definitely,
Yes, ma'am.
you have 2 questions. What is the restriction on debating the motion to postpone definitely compared to that of postpone indefinitely?
For postpone indefinitely, the member can go into merits of debate on the main motion. And in postpone definitely, they would be debating on why they want to postpone this to another time.
Okay. Name 2 rules that must be followed in amending the motion to postpone definitely.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Sure. Name 2 rules that must be followed in amending the motion to postpone definitely.
it would take a majority vote. Would postpone it as, if you were amending it, you would be amending it to when you want it to be postponed to. You'd be amending that time or that place.
Okay.
Limit or extend limits of debate.
Yes, sir.
Name 3 ways that the motion to limit or extend limits of debate can limit debate.
The amount of speeches, the number, the time, how long they can talk for.
To the person who has suspend the rules,
Yes, ma'am.
name 3 rules that can be suspended if they interfere with a proposed action.
Can you restate the question, please?
Yes. Name 3 rules that can be suspended if they interfere with a proposed action.
Standing rules, special rules, and rules of order.
Okay, thank you.
To the person who had appeal,
Yes, ma'am.
you have 3 questions. Can the chair's answer to a parliamentary inquiry be appealed? Explain your answer.
No, ma'am, because it is not an opinion. It is parliamentary authority.
Is the chair's judgment as to which side is more numerous in a voice vote subject to an appeal? Explain your answer.
Could you restate the question, please?
Is the chair's judgment as to which side is more numerous on a voice vote subject to an appeal? Explain your answer.
No, ma'am, because the member could propose a division of the assembly instead.
Okay. Is the chair's judgment as to which side is more numerous on a rising vote subject to an appeal? Explain your answer.
Yes, ma'am, because in the circumstance that a rising vote is taken, it would be because someone has called for a division or because the rule required it.
There are 6 types of improper amendments. Name 3 of them.
An amendment which is not germane and changes the question. An amendment that strikes out the word resolved. An amendment that's not germane.
Okay, thank you.
Judges, you now have 3 minutes to ask any follow-up questions for clarification.
For suspend the rules, was there ever a vote on that?
Yes, ma'am, because we suspended the rule that, or we voted on suspending the rule that we remove our FFA jackets because that's a standing rule.
We called a division on that because 2 of us wanted to suspend the rule.
We retook this majority voice vote by standing to make it more accurate.
And what was the context of suspending that rule in pertaining to this meeting?
The members were warm and they wanted to remove their jackets to cool down.
So there was a question of privilege stated before that, and another member had disagreed with the chair's statement or asked to suspend the standing rule.
The chair felt that the meeting room was comfortable enough, and that member was in disagreement with the chair, so they brought up suspend the rules to try and remove that standing rule.
So on postpone definitely, when's your chapter's next meeting?
1 month.
In 1 month.
We have regular meetings
Every month.
Why is that important to postpone definitely?
because postpone definitely, a motion cannot be postponed past a quarterly interval.
Putting it off to the next scheduled meeting, so our next scheduled meeting.
And then a quarterly interval would be 3 months, and then our meeting is in 1 month.
It's also important for everyone at the assembly to know when that motion would be taken up.
So let's revisit a minute the question of privilege and to suspend the rules. There was a question of privilege on the floor, and then we had to suspend the rules on the floor. That question of privilege was never revisited. Why is that?
The member addressed the chair, and I called on them, and then the question of privilege was not fully brought up, and that member did not call a point of order, so they did not feel as they needed to take the floor again and address that, and then they just felt they didn't need to bring it up again, so they did not.
I don't think we realized that that mistake happened until later on, so we couldn't call a point of order because a point of order is supposed to be brought up as soon as the breach occurs.
It's also the chair's authority to preside over the meeting, so whatever the chair decides is how the assembly, it's what the assembly must do.
Okay, thank you.
Congratulations on advancing to the Final Four at the State Parliamentary Procedure event. Please remember to leave your card in your place. Please leave your scratch paper at your station. We will now move over to the team activity room. Please remember to leave your card.
Thank y'all.
You guys have a good day.
Y'all have a great rest of your day.
Good morning. Welcome to the finals round of parliamentary procedure. This is our fourth and final team to compete today. Please help us by observing a few basic rules to ensure that the event will run smoothly and to provide a fair environment for our participants. Please take a moment to turn off or silence all electronic devices. Once the courtesy corps closes the doors, please remain quiet and seated. Would the courtesy corps please close the doors? Judges, are you ready? All right, our final team today is from Perry High School. Team members are Summer Smith, Macy McDermott, Maggie Bell, Jacob Ginger, Carly Green, and Ella Dowd. Please help me welcome them to the stage.
You have 1 minute to review your card. Time. You may begin your presentation.
Is there any new business?
Madam President,
Macy.
I move to reconsider the motion that our chapter hosts a proficiency workshop for our high school juniors and seniors.
Second. The motion to reconsider the motion that our chapter hosts a proficiency workshop for our high school juniors and seniors has been moved and seconded. Is there any debate on this reconsiderment?
Madam President.
Macy.
Being the maker of this reconsiderment, I agree that we reconsider this because we have a lot of seniors that graduated last year that can come back and help our students get better at their proficiency so we can be the best we can be. Get behind me and pass this reconsiderment.
Madam President,
Ella.
I was in favor of this reconsiderment, seeing as many of our juniors and seniors are very involved in our FFA chapter, and they might want to explore some new opportunities through the proficiency program. We could host this workshop and introduce them to these ideas. So please join me in passing this reconsiderment.
Madam President,
Summer.
I rise up in favor of this reconsiderment. As we have a ton of FFA members, we have 100 members in our chapter, and 65 of those are juniors and seniors that would love to get more involved in our chapter. Therefore, I hope this reconsiderment passes.
Madam President,
Maggie.
I'm against this reconsiderment, seeing as our chapter is very busy right now, preparing for the end of the year banquet and many other activities that are on our agenda. With this, we do not have time to reconsider this. For these reasons, I hope that this reconsiderment fails.
Madam President,
Jacob.
I simply cannot support this reconsiderment, as our high school juniors and seniors have been very busy since it is the end of the school year. They have colleges to look to and scholarships to look forward to and to apply for those. And with this proficiency workshop, I believe that would just take up way too much time for them and not be able to help their academic career. So get behind me and fail this reconsider.
Is there any debate? Seeing none, we shall proceed to vote. All in favor of reconsidering the motion that our chapter host a proficiency workshop for our high school juniors and seniors, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
The noes have it and the motion to reconsider fails. Is there any new business?
Madam President.
Maggie.
I move that our chapter create a campaign during FFA week to support local farmers.
Second.
The motion that our chapter create a campaign during FFA week to support our local farmers has been moved and seconded. Is there any debate?
Madam President,
Ella.
I rise to post this.
Point of order.
State your point.
The proper speaker was not properly recognized.
Point not well taken.
Madam President,
Summer.
I move to appeal the decision of the chair.
Second.
The The motion to appeal the decision of the chair has been moved and seconded. All in favor of appealing the chair's decision, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
The ayes have it, and the chair's decision is appealed. Maggie, being the maker of the main motion, you have first right to debate.
Thank you. I would like these members to pass this motion, seeing as our local farmers around Middle Georgia work hard every day for providing food, clothing, and materials for the people that they support. For these reasons, it is the best that we as a chapter can allow a campaign to bring acknowledgement to these farmers. For these reasons, I hope that this motion passes.
Madam President,
Summer.
I rise in favor of this main motion as the week of FFA week in our chapter is a big deal, and it ends with our local livestock competition. Having these people talk about our local county competition will greatly benefit our chapter, as we can have them people come in and talk and see our chapter and how we work in our local community with our local agriculture. Therefore, I hope this main motion passes.
Madam President,
Ella.
I rise opposed to this main motion. As one of my peers just said, our local county show ends our national FFA week in our area. Seeing as many of our members of our FFA chapter are very involved in the livestock show team, they may not have time to even They may not have time to do this, so we will not have enough workers to make this happen. So please show me in failing this main motion.
Madam President,
Jacob.
I am for this main motion. Our whole chapter is involved in this, and we can have our Instagram and Facebook page open for our members to advertise that we are supporting our local farmers around us. With this, I urge the Assembly to get behind me and pass this main motion.
Madam President,
Macy.
I move to take a 15-minute recess for informal consultation.
The motion to take a 15-minute recess for informal consultation has been moved and seconded. Recess is not debatable but amendable and requires a majority vote to pass. Are there any amendments? Seeing none, we shall proceed to vote. All in favor of taking a 15-minute recess for informal consultation, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
Division of the Assembly has been called for. We shall now move to an alternative method of voting. All in favor of taking a 15-minute recess for informal consultation, please rise. You may be seated. All opposed, please rise. You may be seated. The recess fails. Is there any debate?
Madam President,
Maggie.
I move to extend debate to 20 minutes per person.
Second.
The motion to extend debate by 20 minutes per person has been moved and seconded. All in favor of extending debate time by 20 minutes, please rise. You may be seated. All opposed, please rise. You may be seated. The motion fails. Is there any debate?
Madam President,
Ella.
I move to postpone this motion to our next scheduled meeting on May 1st.
Second.
The motion to postpone this motion to the next meeting on May 1st has been moved and seconded. Is there any debate on this motion?
Madam President,
Ella.
I made this postponement seeing as National FFA Week doesn't come up for a very long period of time until next year. We have plenty of time to postpone this and discuss it at another time and cover more important business today. So please show me in passing this postponement.
Madam President,
Summer.
I oppose this postponement as we have plenty of time today to discuss this motion, and therefore we don't need to postpone it because we have plenty of time today to go ahead and figure out the logistics for this motion. Therefore, I hope this postponement fails.
Madam President,
Jacob.
I am against this postponement. Our farmers need to know if they're going to be supported in our community and if we're even going to do this campaign for this FFA week, as we're still planning other things for FFA week. So get behind me and fail this postponement.
Madam President,
Maggie.
I'm in favor of this postponement, seeing as FFA week is next February. With this, our local farmers and what they are doing right now in the community changes. If we want our campaign to be the best of its ability, we need to postpone this motion now.
Madam President,
Macy.
I disagree with the postponement. We have our chapter's many FFA meetings coming up to finish up the year, and we have our banquet that we need to prepare for. We don't have time to talk about this. We need to get it done now and discuss it for later on. Get behind me and pass or fail this postponement.
Is there any debate? Seeing none, we shall proceed to vote. All in favor of postponing the main motion until our next scheduled business meeting on May 1st, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
The noes have it and the postponement fails. Is there any debate?
I
Madam
move
President.
parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry.
What is the vote needed on a main motion?
A main motion needs majority vote to pass. Is there any debate?
Madam President,
Ella.
I still cannot lend my support to this main motion. Seeing as we host many other events throughout National FFA Week, how do we know we're even going to have enough money to host this campaign?
Seeing that we may not have enough money, I rise opposed to this main motion. Please join me in failing it.
Madam President.
Summer.
I rise opposed to my previous speaker and in favor on this motion. We can do this as a free campaign for our social media, and our All-Star team can get this word out to all of our local members about how awesome FFA during FFA week and to support our local farmers because they do so much for our community and for our FFA chapter. Therefore, I hope this main motion passes.
Madam President.
Maggie.
I'm in favor of this motion, seeing as we have a young farmers teacher right here at Perry FFA. With this, they know all the experience that comes with local farmers, and they have interacted with them before. They can get insight on what would be best for the campaign, and then they can come back and we can plan it to the best of our ability. For these reasons, I hope this motion passes.
Madam President.
Jacob.
I move to suspend the rules so we don't have to stand during debate.
Second.
The motion to suspend the rules of standing for debate has been moved and seconded. All in favor of suspending the rules for standing of debate, please rise. You may be seated. All opposed, please rise. You may be seated. The noes have it and the motion fails. Is there any debate?
Madam President.
Macy.
I agree with this motion. As you know, we have 50% of our people around us are farmers, and they don't get recognized for what they do enough. By having this, we can be able to show our appreciation to them, and maybe they can do something in return. Get behind me and pass this main motion.
Madam President,
Jacob.
I am for this main motion. We can do so much with this campaign. Our chapter can go out and help local farmers that don't have a lot of help and that don't have a lot of employees for them, and we can help them do stuff around their farm, and then overall help us as a chapter, for us getting our name out to our local farmers, for us to maybe even help them, for them to help us for one person to another in the future. So get behind me and pass this main motion.
Madam President.
Macy.
I'm in favor of this motion. My cousin tried this with her chapter, and she was actually able to get jobs for after high school and for her chapter to be able to go on and further their career in agriculture. Get behind me and pass this main motion.
Madam President.
Summer.
I move the previous question.
Second.
The previous question has been moved and seconded. If passed with a 2/3 vote, previous question ends all debate and goes straight to a vote. All in favor of the previous question, please rise. You may be seated. All opposed, please rise. You may be seated. The previous question passes. We shall now proceed to vote on the main motion. All in favor that our chapter create a campaign during FFA week to support local farmers, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
The ayes have it and the motion passes. Our chapter shall now create a campaign during FFA week to support local farmers. Please rise for oral questions.
Judges, please ask the 6 assigned questions.
To the person who has reconsider, you have 2 questions. Your first question: explain what is meant by the statement that the motion to reconsider must be made by a member who voted on the prevailing side.
Reconsider only can be made by somebody who voted in favor for it because they want it to be readdressed and get their peers on their side and tell them why we need to reconsider this and it's a good idea.
Okay. Your second question: when must the motion to reconsider be made if a meeting lasts 1 day?
Can you please repeat the question?
Yes. When must the motion to reconsider be made if a meeting lasts 1 day?
It should be addressed at the next scheduled meeting.
Okay, thank you.
To the person with postponed definitely, you have 2 questions. What is the restriction on debating the motion to postpone definitely compared to that of postpone indefinitely?
Please repeat the question.
Sure. What is the restriction on debating the motion to postpone definitely compared to that of postpone indefinitely?
Postpone definitely can only be debated once by each member. When postpone indefinitely can be debated twice.
Name 2 rules that must be followed in amending the motion to postpone definitely.
Please repeat the question.
Sure. Name 2 rules that must be followed in amending the motion to postpone definitely.
It can only be amended by the date or the time.
Okay.
limit or extend limits of debate. Name 3 ways that the motion to limit or extend limits of debate can limit debate.
May you please repeat the question?
Absolutely. Name 3 ways that the motion to limit or extend limits of debate can limit debate. Sure. Name 3 ways that the motion to limit or extend limits of debate can limit debate.
By the number of speeches someone can take, by the time that which they can take it, and by when the meeting needs to be adjourned.
To the person who has suspend the rules. Name 3 rules that can be suspended if they interfere with a proposed action. Yes. Name 3 rules that can be suspended if they interfere with a proposed action.
Bylaws.
Thank you.
To the member who had appeal, you have 3 questions. Can the chair's answer to a parliamentary inquiry be appealed? Explain your answer.
No, because the chair's response to a parliamentary inquiry is opinion, not a ruling.
Okay. Is the chair's judgment as to which side is more numerous on a voice vote subject to an appeal? Explain your answer. Sure. Is the chair's judgment as to which side is more numerous on a voice vote subject to an appeal? Explain your answer.
No, because a voice vote is not counted, so there's no real way to tell how many people voted in favor or opposed of the motion.
Is the chair's judgment as to which side is more numerous on a rising vote subject to an appeal? Explain your answer.
The rising vote is counted, so you can see how many people are in favor and how many people are opposed.
There are 6 types of improper amendments. Name 3 of them.
May you please repeat the question?
Yes. There are 6 types of improper amendments. Name 3 of them.
Amendments that are out of order. Amendments that are not germane. And amendments that do not relate to the business at hand.
Judges, you now have 3 minutes to ask any follow-up questions for clarification.
When you move the motion to reconsider, are you required to say which vote you voted on, or which way you voted previously?
You have to say which way you voted because the motion to reconsider has to be on the opposing or on the prevailing side because you want to reconsider it because you have changed your way that you wanted to vote on the motion. So yes, you must address the way you voted.
Okay, thank you.
Is appeal interruptible?
Yes.
On postpone definitely, what was the date you used for your next meeting?
May 1st.
And how often do y'all meet as a chapter?
We meet weekly. Weekly?
And why is that important with the motion to postpone definitely?
Because a motion can only be when chapters have meetings in between a quarterly time period, the motion can only be postponed to the next quarter.
Okay, thank you. On the vote to reconsider, let's talk about that for just a second. Someone moved to reconsider the vote. It was seconded, had a lot of discussion. If I'm right, more than one person discussed. in favor of reconsidering it, but everyone voted it down. Is there a reason? Is there a reason why?
I talked in favor of the motion because I was in favor of it, but then I realized that we couldn't do it due to time restraints with the rest of the year, so then I voted opposed of the reconsiderment.
I was also in favor of the reconsiderment, but then after listening to some of my peers, they made important points that made me realize that we maybe shouldn't reconsider it.
Thank you.
What was the context for motioning a recess?
Repeat the question.
What was the context in making a motion to recess?
For informal consultation, to take a break and then pick up where we left off.
Congratulations on advancing to the Final Four at the State Parliamentary Procedure event. Please remember to leave your card in your place. Please leave your scratch paper at your station. We will now move over to the team activity room. Please remember to leave your card.